nomination.
Thank you.
Where were you at when you were nominated, and how did you find out?
Well, I think initially I found out a couple weeks ago through our team president, Mark, and he actually caught me in the elevator, and he kind of broke the news to me. So, which is really exciting. I think anytime you can, get nominated, honored for a particular award that, really symbolizes, what you do for others. I always think that's a big deal. Obviously, you don't do those things for recognition. You just do them because it's in your heart to do it, and you feel like that's the right thing to do. So, just grateful, to be able to represent my teammates, this community.
It's funny you say that because obviously a lot of actors talk about how they love to be nominated, but of course it's better to also win it. What would it mean for you if you're able to win it, to be alongside 5 other Chiefs players who have won it? They're all in the NFL Hall of Fame, but to also be associated with Walter Payton if you were to win that.
I mean, it'll be a tremendous honor for me. Obviously you want to make big plays in this league, but you want to make an impact, outside the game, with the people in the community, the fans, the people that spend a lot of money, invest their time. So for me to be able to represent, like I said, this team, this organization, and then, the players before me that have worn this uniform, even some players that I played with in the past, the Larry Fitzgeralds and the Calais Campbells. So a lot of those guys, I like to say, raised me, when I came in this league as a 20-year-old. So I'm sure all those guys would be proud.
Tyrann, you kind of answered this, but why is it important to you to do this the way you do it, and to be the same way in the locker room? That both those things are part of what drives you.
Yeah, I think for the most part, I'm self-motivated. I can get myself going. But when I sit down and I really reflect on my life, I think I'm here because other people decided to, really invest in me and to help me and to, spend that quality time with me. And so I always mention my grandmother. Obviously, guys like Patrick Peterson and Larry Fitzgerald, and the list can go on and on of all the people that really, tried their best to help me. And for me, like my coach always said, what are you doing to pay it back? And so for me, I just try my best to, never really forget, where I came from and the road that it really took, to get here.
What coach told you that?
Coach Merritt, yeah, DB coach, yes sir.
When did that click for you, you think? I mean, in your life, was it when you got to the NFL, before, or when it was time to start giving back?
I'd probably say, when I feel like I've always been a leader, in the sense of wanting to help others. I think, once I obviously got to the professional level and, to be in the locker room with a guy like Larry Fitzgerald, who, I mean, he done, a lot of great things, in his community, not just in Arizona, but in Minnesota as well. And, Patrick Peterson, Calais Campbell, I just feel like I was really, blessed and fortunate early on, to really get both sides of it, what it takes to be a great athlete and a great teammate, and then also what it takes to kind of, extend on that, beyond the field, beyond the locker room.
When you talked about Larry Fitzgerald a bunch now today, how did he come to be kind of a mentor for you? You guys don't play the same position. How did that come about, your relationship with him?
Well, me and him used to face off a lot, in practice, and, back in my younger days when, I was a cornerback and a nickel back, and so me and him spent a lot of time together, just really, obviously talking about the craft and, really what it takes to be a great player in this league. And, from there you just, form a bond with players. And I could just remember him, always inviting me to all of his charity events. And so just thankful that, I had a lot of good guys in my life to kind of, open that door so that I can, experience, what it's like to be on the other side. And, obviously, who I want to be, going forward.
Tyrann, Andy Reid said that, a lot of people give monetary donations, but you specifically give your time and you're out in the community. What is it that you like about doing that and being out in Kansas City, among other places that you've been in the past?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really really no secret. I think we all grew up really experiencing different things. I think for me, I play football because I love that part of it. The team part of it, coming together, building, really helping other people become, what they want to be. And so it's kind of like the same, mindset when it comes to the community. You want to feel a part of something. You want those people to feel special. You want to be able to recognize those people as well.
You talked about Larry Fitzgerald, you mentioned, but I know some of us come from different backgrounds than others, and so I heard you mention your grandmother earlier, but I'm pretty sure your giving and your understanding of giving back did not start in the NFL. Was it the high school, was it some of the members, teachers, coaches that influenced you or took a nurture to you when you were in high school? Because obviously, before the grace of God, you could have gone in a different direction.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously my grandmother. I think about her a lot, and I think about my high school coach as well. Dale Lee, and really, all the time that he invested in me. He's probably one of the first people that really looked at me, and I was probably 5'6", 130, and he thought I could play in the NFL. And so it's a lot of people like that have really, gave me a kind of boost of confidence, boost of self-esteem, to not only be a good football player, but to, try my best to continue working, trying to be the right kind of man.
Are you old enough now to feel like you're Larry Fitzgerald for some of these young guys? I mean, are you trying to do that for them?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. To be honest, I think it's, important. You see a lot of guys come into the league and they can't really figure it out. And, for me, I just feel, really blessed that, I've been around, a lot of good guys in this league that have done it the right way. And so, for me, being in this position, I just want to pay it back to, a lot of those guys that look up to me.
We got to ask you a little bit about the team. Defensively, what are you guys feeling right now? You got to be fairly confident. Is that kind of built momentum-wise for you as the season's gone on?
Yeah, I think we're getting some confidence. I think we're playing with some real good energy. But I think we're still, in it. I think we're still, head down, just really, all about putting in the work and then letting the results kind of take care of itself. But, we still kind of in that, chasing improvement mindset. I don't think, really any of us feel like, we've done enough to win a championship yet. So, it's a lot more work really to be done.
Tyrann, you had to leave LSU maybe before you wanted to. You had to leave Arizona maybe before you wanted to after signing that extension. You had the 1 year in Houston. You probably knew that wasn't going to be a long-term thing. Now you come here, you win a championship. Is it fair to say, and I know you still have a contract pending for next year, but is it fair to say or accurate to say maybe you've never felt like you've had a football home
Yeah.
like you've had with the Chiefs? Is that accurate?
I mean, that's accurate. And I mean, I in this league, you never really know. All you can really do is kind of do your best. Really show people who you are, and if people decide to keep you around, and that's really their decision. But it won't change what I do or how I do it.
What's accurate about that? Why would you say this place is more of a football home for you than you've had in your career?
Well, I think because we won a championship, so I think that team will be really hard to forget. A lot of those players will be hard to forget, but it just feels like home. And really outside of me, I think about my fiance and really everything she's kind of been able to accomplish, and she's kind of really creating her own identity, and so I just feel like this place has offered not just me a chance to become a champion, but like I said, my fiance as well. So yeah, it's been pleasant to say the least.
Tyrann, I want to ask you a college football question really quick. I don't know when we'll talk to you next, but LSU taking on K-State, a lot of LSU guys here on the team. Are you guys going to have any bets going with Pringle?
You know what? I know it's been a down year for us, LSU Tigers, but I'm gonna try to probably not bet them. Just take it easy on them. I think my Tigers will show up and hopefully they'll dominate that game.
What are your thoughts on the head coach, the new head coach, Brian Kelly?
Well, I thought it was a great hire. Obviously, anytime you could replace I don't know how you replace championship coaches, but anytime you could replace that with a guy with a great resume, a guy who's a great recruiter. Obviously, he's a good football coach. He's won a lot of football games, and so just most importantly, just looking forward to see what kind of culture he creates, and seeing how close him and the players could really mesh, and then like I said, compete for a championship, and really probably the toughest division in football.
He caught a little grief online for people thought it was not a great Cajun accent. Did you grade his accent in the basketball?
Yeah. Listen, I won't be too hard on him. I know it's his first time, so hopefully after a couple crawfish boils, a couple cookouts, he'll get the slang of it. But yeah, just be yourself.
Tyrann, is he keeping the job warm for you?
Yeah.